Welcome to Lou's Demos. Today we're going to be talking about Cisco Packet Tracer and how to use Packet Tracer, some fundamental basic things of Packet Tracer. So once you've gone to Cisco site, create your account, download it, install Packet Tracer. You open it up. After you log in, this is pretty much what it's going to look like. From here, down here in the bottom, you're going to have your endpoints, your intermediate devices, your networking devices. So here we have our routers. You can see we have a bunch of different routers. So like an example, let's take the 2811 out there. And then from here, we have our switches. So we could take our 2960. And here we have some basic hubs, some wireless devices, security devices, some WAN emulation, and then endpoints. We have essentially some PCs, we have some other devices, and then we have little cities. These are the main two that we're going to be using. So we're going to go back to the PC, and we're going to just drag them out. And then you can see they start with 0, and then as you move the next one out, it just increments it by 1. So that's a quick way. And then if you leave the mouse over your device, you can see that it'll show the status of the interfaces. And the next one is the lightning bolt. So the lightning bolt here will automatically pick what type of cable. The blue one is our crossover, is our straight through, our crossover cable. So if we were hooking up one switch to another switch, we'd want to use a crossover cable. So here we're gonna choose, so here it's gonna drop us down to the Ethernet, and then we're gonna click on that. It doesn't really necessarily matter which particular port, and then again click on the same Ethernet, and now we essentially grab one more. Here you want to pay attention to which Ethernet interface. It's going to make a difference. So now you can see the first PC, or PC 0, has been booted up long enough where the switch has gone through its learning stages, and now you can see that PC 1 has also done the same thing. You can see over here with our router, it's still down, and that is because out of the box, no configurations. Cisco routers, their interfaces are in the down state. On Cisco switches, all physical interfaces are in the up state by default out of the box. The ones that are not would be virtual ports, like except VLAN 1, that would be down by default. So next we're gonna click on our notes, and then we're going to go with PC1, 192 and 68.1.1/24, PC0, 192.168.1.2/24. So that /24 is the subnet mask. And then we're going to go with switch 0, VLAN 1. We'll go with 192.168.5/24. Let's see if I can make this. Okay, there we go. And then router 0 slash 0 192 168 68.1.54/24. Alright, so those are going to be the address schemes that we're going to use to configure all this stuff up. So we're going to go to PC0, we're going to double click on it, and then from here we can go to configurations and go to global settings. We can put in our default gateway, which is 192.168.1.254. And then here we're going to go to our Ethernet, and then we're going to put in an IP address, 192.168.1.2, and then tab over and it just fills in the default subnet mask. Alright, so now we're going to go to PC1 and do the same thing. 192.168.1.254. 192.168.1.1. There we go. So now we should essentially be able to ping from one machine to the other. So let's try it real quick and see. Yep. So we have a good connection between them. Now our next step is to log into the Cisco switch. Now we could do it a couple different ways. We could do it one by just clicking on the switch, or we could also come down here, use our cable, and connect our RS-32 interface to our console port and connect that way too. In the real world, that's how you would actually connect it, with using a console cable out of the box. You wouldn't just be clicking on plugging the keyboard and mouse on the router. So a couple different ways you could do it. If you prefer to do it this way, go with the default settings and then entering in. So we're going to type in enable. So you can type in EN tab for completion, or you can just type in EN. Same thing, we're going to do config. And then if we, again, tab completion. From here, we're going to go to interface, VLAN 1, and then we're going to type in the IP address for the interface. So we're going to do IP address 192.168.1.5, and then here, a little different, you're going to type in the mask at the same time. And let's just double check to make sure that we're using the right address. Yes. The next thing we want to do is do a no shut down. Here you can see we're getting a response back saying the console interface has changed to the state up, and then you can see the protocol on the interface has changed state to up to. Again, because the VLAN interface is a virtual interface, it's not a physical interface, it's administratively shut down. Alright, so now if we toggle back to our PC, and then if we change that to a 5, and doing the pings, there we go. we've got our 3 responses. Perfect. Same thing, we're going to go into the router, in the CLI. We could have hooked up another console from PC1 to go in there too if we wanted to. So now we're going to do the same commands again. Enable. You can see that the routers went from greater than the pound. Again, we're going to type in config T, and then we're going to hit enter. And then again, we're going to go to interface. In this case, we're going to go to fast Ethernet 0/0. And then we're going to do the same thing, IP space address. And then we're going to put the address in of the interface. And then we're going to put in the mask. And then we're going to type in no shut to bring the interface up. So now you can see here, the interface is up because now it's green. Here on the switch side, it's still going through its learning stage that, Cisco switches go, so it's going to take a moment. And then close this out. Go back into the switch here. Alright. Perfect. So now if we up arrow and put in 254 as the IP address, and you can see that we're getting ping response. Alright, so that's pretty cool. So let's say we want to take this to the next step. We can go back to our endpoints, go to our switch, grab another switch, go to our PC, and go to our, and then let's say we can make another network. Go to our notes, and then we can say PC2. Just to make it simple, we'll give it a 192.168.2.1 address, and then we can do switch 1, 192.168.2.5, just so it's easier for naming conventions. And then we can do router 1, and then we're going to do, well actually it's router 0, still the same router, so we're going to do 0/1 and do 192.168.2.254. Okay, so let's go to our cables and hook these back up. Let's just move this PC here. Alright. No, that's not what I want. Oh yes, I realized that. But I made a mistake. Okay. Just hit escape and that'll undo your changes because I picked the console instead. There we go. Just so we don't have the lines covering all the interfaces. So the next step, we can click on the PC, do its configurations. Again, we're going to use 192.168.2.254 as its gateway. From here, we're going to type in the IP address 168.2.1, use the default mask. Excellent. Here, Now we don't necessarily have to configure this VLAN, so I'm going to skip this for right now and go to the router because we have to at least, since we're still in this router, we can just type in, we don't have to type in enable because we already have the pound config T because we're in configure, we're in the -if, so we're in interfaces already, so we can just essentially just type in the next interface. And then do the same thing. IP address 192.168.2.254, and then the mask 255.255.0, and do no shut, and then we can let the interface go up, and then from here, from PC0, we'll go to command prompt, and then if we up arrow, so going from .1 to .2, so we can successfully ping from 0 through the packet going through the switch to the router's interface on this side and to this other side. So now we can ping the PC and we've gone from PC0 to PC2. We don't have to necessarily put a VLAN 1 in here. By default, all the switches are in there. It's just a good habit. So if you want to be able to take it to the next step and be able to remote into it, you can. So here I'm going to show, and then we can ping the PC 192.168.1.2, and there we go. We have a perfect round trip. All right, thanks for watching. Bye.